I had just ran into a sister probably about just a few minutes ago, right? And I haven't seen her in a long time. And I enjoyed. We had a little good look, couple of seconds conversation. She came this way. First, I was standing like this, and she came by, and I turned around. It kind of got me a little bit. She kind of got off guards or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we it's just a little bit of what we talked about, like what we as a so-called people, black people, go through over here in this country over here. You see what I'm saying? As far as when you talk about racism, I'm trying to see if it's any music, y'all. Hopefully, I don't have no music in this video or whatever, or I don't get none in the video because YouTube will get copyright your videos. You know what I mean? And I had to work hard to turn the damn mic off because I don't want to get no music within the video. But anyway, I was talking to her and she said she like it this part of Louisiana because she said uh, she was saying that the police don't bother. I said, let me ask you this here. They may not bother you for hearsay. That doesn't mean that racism just knock off racism because you ain't dealing with, like, you walking and you ain't, of course you may not, that ain't got nothing to do with, it's not going to somehow purify what we dealing with. You know what I mean? You just can't just walk around just because you individual, you know what I mean, don't get into trouble or nothing like that. That's saying that we don't deal with that shit on a day-to-day basis. You see what I'm saying? Because you one person. You see what I'm saying? You just one person, but that doesn't mean it still doesn't exist. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what I really wanted to tell the sister, but I didn't want to make this make the person feel. You know what I'm saying? Some people think when you go to getting into stuff like that, they'll say, especially us, you know, you arguing, you doing this and that and the third, you know. So I just say, you know what, I ain't gonna do this. So I still turned the sister off in a nice way. I said, oh boy, you go ahead on and take care of what you need to take care of. I wish that the only thing that I hate, I wish I could have just recorded the few minutes, couple of seconds conversation because I'm standing right here by like Aberson's, you know what I mean? And while I was telling her, I felt a tense angry because what made me felt a little tense angry, but I still was nice to the sister, even though I was angry at the same time, because I'm angry at the part where more than likely that I know that they are whitewashed in their brain. They got white supremacy all there in their head. You see what I'm saying? And I just got through holding a conversation with the sister. I wish y'all could have seen it. It was a few minutes, and I was like, you know how you could be explaining slavery to somebody, but you being nice to them, but you angry at the same time because you really wants to show them, like, okay, because she was saying, well, they don't bother me and this and that and the third, and they think somehow you just one individual saying that. That's not saying as a whole what we deal with as a whole. Just like I can walk around here and say, well, I don't get in trouble and I never been to jail or nothing like that. That doesn't stop the fact that we're dealing with slavery, we're dealing with certain things. You may say, well, I ain't never lived in a ghetto, in a slum and stuff. I always had food and this and that and the third. I never was low on resources and stuff like that there. But it doesn't stop the fact that your ancestors had to deal with some type of racism and stuff. We wasn't like in the field or out there in the field or like picking cotton. Like, hold on, wait a minute, hold on. Let me turn this down so y'all can hear me. Okay, so I had it off because that car down there, it had music in the car down there. And what I had to do, I had to stop it because YouTube, they strict about, they copyright your videos and stuff like that. They do the same thing. Now they don't, on Facebook, they'll just mute your video. They ain't gonna just disable you and say you can't go live until after a week or something like that. But YouTube will do that. You know, they'll turn around and spam it for copyright or whatever. Or maybe they just might just give you a warning or whatever, you know. So that's my only reason why I have to mute it every so often, because when music passing by, then you have to like turn it off, because it'd be music that they don't want you to like put music that's copyright infringement. They call it copyright infringements owned by an author or something like that. That's not yours. You see what I'm saying? And so if it's not your music, then they won't allow it. They'll turn around and tell you to take your video down, or either they'll say copyright infringement and so on and so forth and da. All right, let me go on. There's no sense in me rolling. But anyway, there was a woman I was talking to, just that we grew up right here in Louisiana. I think she said she's from New Orleans, but I couldn't, you like remember people and you remember their face, but you really can't really place their siblings and stuff, but you know they face, like that face looked familiar. But that's where it was just a couple of seconds ago. She said that a few days, her birthday was gonna come within a few days. You know, she's a sister and everything. And she said that she didn't like New Orleans. She wanted, she wanted her hometown. So she came in this part of Louisiana, you know what I mean? And I said, let me ask you this here. I said, you don't think we as a people, you don't think we dealing with racism? You don't believe that racism, or you don't accept, or you don't accept? I don't like using that word believe, because that word believe means you can't prove nothing. I said, so you don't think in your mind, or you don't consider that we're dealing with racism? She said, well, no, this and that, and this and that and the third. I said, well, sister, what does black mean? When I said that, it's like it confounded the sister to where she kind of like looked a little bit like that. I said, look, sister, it matters what God calls you. I wish I would have had my son. It matters not what man called you. How did you get the name black? How do we get these names that we got? You see what I'm saying? Like, I really don't know what to call my damn self. You know what I mean? So not what, because man calls you something that's not, everybody has a biblical identity in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? So I said, what they did to us, sister, they took and programmed our minds and put that in our mind to where we'll be distance from our history, to where if we try to bring it up to you, our people, and I said, it's not our fault. They see each other and like, oh, he talking about slavery. Blah, 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 blah. That was that ended over 100 years ago. Blah, blah, blah. He ended over 400, 5,000 years ago. Like it's like they be ready to go. But I can tell she was being genuine about it, and she was still standing there, but she was being genuine about it, like at the same time. And that's when I was genuine about it. And I said, well, okay, sister, you go ahead on and enjoy your day. You have a good day. It was good seeing you. I'm glad I was able to see you. And she went that way there. So she just kept it moving. I just, okay, or something like that. So I said, well, I ain't want to keep it. She said she was going to go turn it up and drink or something, drink and or whatever. But I said, she said, she made a statement, and let me reiterate. She said that, well, no, that's not racism. I don't believe it's racism. I don't accept that it's racism or something like that. I said, well, we still got to go to their stores. We still dealing with it in some shape, form, or fashion, because that's just like the large majority of us. It's a lot of large majority of us that don't go to jail, that ain't never been to prison or none of that. But that doesn't mean that that person does not fit those criteria of the curses and going through a whole lot, dealing with oppression and stuff. Well, you may experience it in a different way. You got some so-called black people, so-called Hispanic, Native American people was raised up, probably had born with a silver spoon in their mouth, lived in a nice neighborhood. But it does not mean that it disqualified them from being part of the slave. They still be able to relate to slavery because it's in their spirit. You see what I'm saying? It's in your DNA. Your spirit, Romans 8:16 say your spirit is still going to bear witness with those curses in Deuteronomy 28. So you still going to deal with the curses in some form, shape, or fashion. You may not be suffering as far as the resources and all that kind of stuff. You notice, like most black people, we don't have higher resources like that. The so-called white man, they got resources like that. You see what I'm saying? But just because you may find collectively so-called a few black people raised up with a silver spoon in their mouth and this and that and the third, that doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't disqualify them from being part of the slave trade. You see what I'm saying? That it doesn't stop that. And I don't know why our people is ignorant to that fact. You see what I'm saying? They I don't know why they just ignorant to the fact that way. That would be ignorant to say that, because you have a lot of us, some, like most of us are in poverty. You see what I'm saying? Most of us are lacking in resources, like myself. I would say I grew up poor, lacking in resources and stuff like that. Now you may have some black people that probably grew up all their life with a silver spoon in their mouth. But that doesn't mean they suffering the curses in other ways. You see what I'm saying? There are other ways. You may go in the store as a so-called black person. You could be rich and everything, and then you may have some of the so-called white people. Here's a colored nigga coming up in here. Here's a colored nigga. And they may give you a hard time at the register or something like that. They may try to cheat you. They may just look at you crazy. They may just walk up to you in the store. You ain't doing nobody nothing. And they be like, hey, well, excuse me, what do you have in your pocket? You know why I'm saying that? Because right there in that store, it happened to me. I don't even go in that motherfucker no more. I don't go in there. I go into other stores. I say I'm not going to do no. The only way I go in there, unless and I have to, I don't go in there, because they got a history of targeting every so-called person of color, so-called black people in that store right there. You see what I'm saying? But I don't mess with it. I don't go in there. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to be going in those store and then somebody just walk. That's annoying. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to shop. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Don't come standing up over me because you see I'm a so-called a man of color or whatever you want to call me, and just be like, go watch your own fucking people like that. You see what I'm saying? Your people is the biggest targeted on him. The so-called what they get the benefits of this work. They get the benefits, but we don't. You see what I'm saying? The so-called white man, white woman, child, all of them, they get the benefits of everything because they forefathers and everything. They own all them stores and stuff. Um, yeah. So yeah, man. So just because I know a couple of rich so-called black people, they're rich, but I done seen them in one incident where they was trying to make a turn in the road, and then they had another car. So they had two so-called white men in there, and they was trying to blow the horn, and they was in like on the side, and he couldn't even get through, so he had to blow his horn so they wouldn't move. So he had to go around the trucks, and they did it because he was a so-called black. And I'm in the truck with him, and I'm saying they did that because we were people of color, and he's a like a rich individual. He's rich, so they don't give a damn about you being that. That's not gonna change anything because you're being rich or you live in a nice little neighborhood. I'm just saying you have a very few collectively black of our people that lives in a rich neighborhood, but that's rare. You see that, but we still are suffering the curses. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that they still not going through it in another way. You may be good on resources where in another area they probably still gonna mess with you. You still gonna be a target. Just because you're rich, that doesn't mean you're gonna be a less target. Look at Bill Cosby. Are they rich people? Was Michael Jackson a rich person? Did they target so-called Michael Jackson? Absolutely they did. They don't care nothing about you being rich or whether you dead or whatever, or you got so much money and stuff. They don't care about that because the way they looking at it, hey, we the ones give it to you. We give it to you and we can take it away from you. Just fuck up. Go and fuck up and do something wrong. We'll take your empire down. That's how the so-called white man look at it. That's how they'll look at it. They'll be like, hey, we can take your shit down anytime. I don't give a damn how much you think you got. You let that go to your head. My ancestors, white ancestors, we can take your shit down, partner, anytime we get fucking ready. That's the way they do. The so-called white man, they can look at you right now and they can say, at any point in time, we can take all that shit from you. And see, that's what a lot of people think. They think, oh, the white man loves us because we got so much, this and that and the third. That white man can look at you right now and say, hey, okay, fuck up one time. Now, I bet you I'll take it away from you. I love my people. I don't have no love for the so-called white man. I don't love my enemy. I don't have love for my enemies. I don't have love for my enemy. And I can say it right here in front of my brother that's walking right there. My brother. I can say it out loud with him. I don't have love for my enemy. Why would I have love for a fucking demon? A man that comes out here and see you as a prey. Why would I love that? I don't have love. Why should I have love for something like that? You tell me why should I have love for somebody that will walk up and turn around and shoot my people down in the streets for no fucking reason, or target them and pull them over. And I just saw a video. If y'all want me to, I put that video in the link in the description and show y'all how that they targeted our people. I can show y'all that. Yeah, I can show y'all that video. I put it in the description. Let me know if y'all want to see that video in the description. The video is 3 years old. So why would I personally, why should we? Most of our people do though. If you see me as a prey to kill me, why would I in essence why would I want to say I love something like that? I don't have no love for no race of people who look at my people as a prey and hate them and be ready to shoot them down, just like they did that 12-year-old. Look what they did to that 12-year-old boy. What evil beast would do something like that? You tell me what evil beast would do some shit like that. Nobody but a damn animal. Just for context sake, the word human it's supposed to mean Neanderthal. But just for context, I'm gonna say I don't consider them human. I consider them the Caucasian. I consider them animals. Why? Because only animals would see you as an animal. See you as a nothing. You value me and you look at me as you see an animal. Why would I have love for somebody like that? Why would I invite somebody under my wings like that? You tell me this as so-called black man, black woman, my people, my brothers and sisters. You tell me that. You tell me that. So-called black woman, so-called black man, black woman. Why would I love somebody who hate my people, who I hold dear to my heart, who I love? Why? Why would I love that? You tell me, you explain to me why would I love that? You see what I'm saying? That's just like hating your own innocent people. Like, think about it. They went into a park, bro, and took their rifle. Now, what person supposed to be consider a life, go into a fucking park, and take your gun and shoot a innocent baby, 12-year-old baby? You tell me what would do, and that's what y'all love. Hold on, man. Hold on. That's what y'all love. Y'all love the same people in the streets. I don't love nobody and have no love for no one who murder and rape, rob and murder and kill my people in the streets and see them as animals. No. Y'all got me fucked up. I'm not gonna love no Caucasian people or people who hate my people with a passion and see them as a prey and take them a gun and kill and murder a baby, 12-year-old baby, a black baby. Why would I have love for that? Would you have love for so-called race of people who rape, robbed, and murder and ravish your children, your babies? Would you invite them into a house for a cup of tea and some food? I guarantee you'll feel some type of way. But see what we do, we so programmed and we're conditioned. If our people do that, wait a minute, where that motherfucker at? He took and did this to my child, whatever. But Esau do it, we be ready, our people be ready to forgive him in a heartbeat. So I think that's enough right now that I want to say. But we have a right to be angry and pissed off. We have a right to, you know. So I'm gonna head up out of here.